Welcome to Njenje Media Channel. This is a channel where we explore the truth behind the headlines. The Yoruba nation wants self-determination and not presidency. This is a wonderful piece written by Femi Olufunmilade, PhD. Femi Olufunmilade is a PhD holder and a lecturer at the Bonedion University, Edo State. He said, I have listened to a lawless Miyetti Allah, blabber famous for instigating his illegally armed Fulani kinsmen to unleash violence on TV, on fellow Nigerians on a live TV program recently. He said Yoruba should forget the 2023 presidency for setting up Amotekun. I said he was probably talking to Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, who is believed to be nursing the ambition seriously in that regard. Otherwise, I don't know of any Yoruba, as things stand today, who is hankering after the presidency in 2023. If the presidency means anything to the Yoruba people right now, I am indeed certain that most thinking people would suggest Tinubu's nominee for Vice Presidency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, as a logical choice. Wait a minute. Is Professor here insinuating that Tinubu is not qualified to be president, rather Professor Yemi Osinbajo? Well, let us continue. The professor here argues, I belong to a couple of Yoruba political and cultural associations, some of them having steady rendezvous on social media platforms. I have taken time to observe the direction of their discourse regarding the place of the Yorubas in Nigeria of today. The reality, however, is today, based on my observation, that is, that Yoruba people are really fed up with the state of affairs in this first amalgam of desperate nationalities, the British Christian Nigeria. Njenje Media will chip in here that what the professor here, Professor of Political Science, is saying is not different from what we at Njenje Media has been saying from time immemorial. The contraption called Nigeria is an estate of the Fulanis. It's only those who believe in the Fulani supremacy would want to have the nation continue the way it is configured. We at Njenje Media have actually said it time without number. We are no longer interested in keeping Nigeria the way it is. Give us referendum and let us say a nation good morning. Now, the professor continues. Note that the groups I belong to features the intelligentsia of the Yoruba land in diverse walks of life, some of them public figures. Hence, I am certain their views constitute a correct barometer of Yoruba public opinion. Among them are those who still sees possibility in Nigeria, if only it can be restructured urgently. Njenje Media at this point must also add, the same restructuring we have been asking them to grant us. Rather, they will say that we are secessionists. The way it is today, we no longer are interested in the restructuring. Let the Fulanis keep their restructuring to themselves. If the Yorubas want to join them, so be it. The professor continues, the rest see no hope and are of the persuasion that a peaceful breakup of the country is the only way forward. So, those threatening Yoruba with denial of the 2023 presidency can say that to the Marines. The Yorubas don't give a damn. Njenje Media will say, good morning, the Yoruba nation. You don't give a damn suddenly? Okay. We don't want to remind the Yoruba nation that we could have stopped this madness last year, February. But with the alliance of the Yoruba nation, you brought this man back because you hated someone called Atiku Abubakar. That is Njenje Media's passion. Now let us get back to what the professor is saying. He said, What they want is self-determination with the Nigerian Federation, or self-determination within the Nigerian Federation, that is a confederation, just to call it by its real name, or independence from what the Fulani under President Muhammadu Buhari, a man to whom much is given, has turned into a Fulani colony. Most unfortunately, it is a very unfortunate situation and, scenario that Buhari has turned this nation into a Fulani colony. Or, how else do we explain a situation where the president kinsmen under the auspices of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, cattle breeders, that means people that breed cattle breeders and cattle rearers, when they routinely threaten Nigerians with killings openly from Benue to Oyo, and carry same out nationwide, no consequences whatsoever. We all are alive and saw in January of 2018 how Benue was invaded, people, their land replaced and their lands occupied. It is only when people react either by fighting back or setting up a security outfit like Amotekun that you will see a flurry of activities like the red herring of community policing being rammed down our throat. Now, let me ask here, let us at Njenje Media actually ask, what is community policing? Is it not a verb? What is community policing, for Christ's sake? Even within the police, there must exist a community police. A quick one. Let it be known that community police being created, funded, and centrally controlled from Abuja is a contradiction in terms. Yes, we at Njenje Media agrees. It is indeed a contradiction because that is not what it ought to be. It's what Americans will call a bullshit without the T. Here is a federal government that relies on the state for a good chunk of the operational wherewithal of the State Police Command of the Nigerian Police Force, suddenly rushing to implement community policing. Community policing for who? Who are they communwaring? Who are they policing? After an emergency security meeting held in the presidential villa, because of the jitters sent down their spine by the formation of Amotekun. Amotekun is now, in Njenje Media here, Njenje Media is saying that Amotekun is a masterstroke from the Yoruba nation, because we have never known the Yoruba nation as a people that are capable of doing such. If the Igbos had done it, the whole nation, even including the Yorubas, would have said that the Igbos are now coming back again for another secession. So the whole nation is happy that this is coming from the Yoruba nation. Here is a federal government that is losing the counter-insurgency campaign in the north, striving prosperously to restrain states from protecting their lives and their citizens. How does that work? Are we in a banana republic? How is it that people can no longer protect themselves from marauders and from invaders? If these people, according to the president, that they are not Nigerians, so we can no longer protect ourselves from non-Nigerians. Outside, most Yoruba people, from the elite down to the masses, simply want a government framework that equity puts their destiny in the hands in Ibadan, Ikeja, Abeokuta, Ado-Ekiti, Osobo, Akure, Irolin, and Kaba, rather than Abuja. They want to regionalize, pool their resources, talents together, and continue their race to greatness from where it stopped under Awolowo. The media will ask the Yorubas, anyway, now that you are awake, everyone within the southern Nigeria will be willing to work with you people, but we would still want to ask, where were these brains last year when you voted for the same man that you are now complaining against? The professor continued, the Yorubas want to be a Dubai, that is a showpiece of the United Arab Emirates, UAE, or the state of the California, world 8th largest economy in America Federation, or a Mumbai in India. And we want to say at Njenje Media that these ideas from the Yorubas are well accepted by us. After all, Aba in Abia State want also to be the Japan and the China of Africa, where anything thinkable can be manufactured within the shortest period of time. After all, during this Biafran war, their forefathers manufactured from nothing. They were able to refine petros that the nation called Nigeria today cannot even refine her own crude products. The Prof continues. They are tired of unity in a diverse turn into adversity. They are sick of the rat race over whom becomes the president in Abuja, where power is over-concentrated and abused, and where financial resources, oil money, gas, VAT, customs and exercise, port revenue are concentrated and looted. They have given up on an Abuja that controls all defense and security agencies, but is incapable of dispensing basic function, that is the security of life and property. And they have to erect gates on their streets, employ vigilantes to patrol same street with one eye closed when they go to sleep inside their own houses. How does that nation function? How? Nigerians now have houses protected with fences as high as prison. Isn't that not living in prison yard? In a nation governed by an ex-general that ought to protect its citizens? What is happening? The Yoruba nation must stand up and rise up to the occasion. The Yoruba have reached a breaking point, a peaceful progress, hospitable people that love the good life. Their life in Nigeria has become, in the words of Thomas Hobbes, brutish, nasty, short. Amotekun is just one in a series of our collective effort to redeem themselves from the shackles of retrogression in which Nigeria has locked themselves in. The Yorubas are determined to fulfill their destiny whether Abuja likes it or not. The professor concludes by saying, I wish President Buhari knows how to rekindle hope in Nigeria before it is too late. This was a submission by Professor Olufunmilade, who is the director, Center for Contemporary Security Affairs, Ibunedion University, Okada, Edo State. And this professor also was, and rather is, a member of Buhari Presidential Campaign Council 2011, 2015, and 2019. Now, the media will want to know, had this professor gotten an appointment from Buhari, will he be writing this type of thing that he's writing? Is he just a disgruntled professor, or is he indeed a professor that is to be taken serious? This is an unbelievable thing happening in Nigeria, and we must insist, as we always do in Nigeria, by Injonje Media, that this nation is no longer worth the pain. It is time to say to your tent, O Israel. Once more, this is Injonje Media channel. Subscribe to the channel for more updates and more good content.